who could use these free tools. You don't have to come out of your pocket thousands and thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
You could really, really use this to, get your music out there and connect with your audience and understand who you're connecting to, and then turn that into whatever you need to turn that into from a marketing perspective.
Us again.
What up? It's your boy Jafire Life, Philly Brethren, and you in the field with the Trackstarz. You know what time it is.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. What's good?
All right, for all things Trackstarz, go to trackstarz.com with a Z. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Trackstarz, Twitter, Trackstarz, like the Facebook page, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And please, always download the app.
All right, we got Monica Brown back in the building, Vice President of Sirius XM and Pandora.
Part 2.
Is in the. I don't know if you guys understand that. Vice President of Sirius XM and Pandora.
Yeah.
So we are hearing from that person right now.
VP of Programming and Technology.
If you got questions, please send them in.
Yes.
And give me a few minutes to prepare the answer. If y'all don't mind, thank you.
That's funny.
All right. So what has changed since the last time you were here?
What has changed? I think the focus on merging the brands has continued to grow.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot that we're doing from a technology perspective to make sure that, especially in 2020, we're really focusing on cross-pollinating the content.
Yeah.
If you go to Pandora right now, you'll see where you can actually upload podcasts, and you can see podcasts on the Pandora app. And we have some very, very exciting things planned for the Sirius XM in-car, out-of-car connectivity perspective. So, if you start using something in your car, you want to transition that to someplace else, you shouldn't have to restart or whatever. So we're really working on
that's cool.
just creating more of a flow and more of a connected holistic user experience. So it's very exciting right now. It's a lot happening.
That's big.
It is.
Think about all the brands that are combined now, right? Sirius, that was a big thing. XM is a big thing. Pandora is a big thing. So all that in one spot. I mean, that's got to take a lot of collaboration to get all that working, right?
It's a lot of collaboration. It's a lot of meetings. It's a lot of decisions. It's a lot of trying to predict some of the insight of how the customer is going to interact with all of those things. It's really trying to make sure that we get it right as much as we can, if we look at it from just our own user experience, really trying to make sure that the person that logs into Sirius XM or Pandora or whatever, when they come to the brand, they understand that they can get an experience from both brands at the same time.
I got a hard question for you.
We said no hard questions.
So before you ask that, I want everybody to know we talked about hard questions for these cameras. They're not supposed to do this to me, so I'm just letting y'all know. Go ahead.
Have y'all ever thought about combining it into just one name? Just calling the whole thing Pandora?
We have not made that decision yet.
Has it been thought of?
The conversations have happened.
A lot of names.
Yes, Yep, it's a lot of names. Yep.
I was just thinking, because I don't know which one you guys think is the biggest name. That's a hard one because I remember when Sirius and XM were different, and Sirius XM still sounds like one name.
Right. Because they combined it. Yeah.
But Pandora sounds like a different name.
It is. It's totally different.
So
it's totally
I
different
wonder,
industry.
Would it make any sense for your satellite radio to be called Pandora? Would that make sense, or does it feel like a totally different industry?
So this is disclaimer. This is nothing that we have necessarily discussed technically within the walls of Sirius XM and Pandora. But I can honestly tell you, there's a lot of forethought to the marketing behind combining those brands because there is brand recognition for Sirius XM, there's brand recognition for Pandora. And when you bring those two together, are you missing anything by changing the name or combining? That is going to be a very, very thoughtful conversation because we have to make sure we stay connected to the user as much as possible.
Because I would bet that a lot of people don't even know that you guys combined.
A lot of people don't.
So I would just, it would be interesting because I think you have a hard job to make all that come together.
Yeah, I'll say a lot of people don't know, but more people are starting to understand that now because of the fact that we now have Sirius XM podcasts within the Pandora app.
Yeah.
So, but to have somebody say, hey, you work for Pandora, I have to say it's Sirius XM.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
and
our
Pandora.
listeners know.
Yes.
Our listeners are up on it, but it just because those brands are so iconic in themselves.
Yeah.
So to combine those two worlds, I just know if it was me, it would be a big challenge, So I'm glad you're the one working on that because I know you could pull it together.
It's a big challenge, but I mean, we can do it.
Yeah.
We just have to be very thoughtful in the conversations and looking at how we're combining the brands. It has to be very strategic. It can't be something that we just say, we're just going to combine it and we throw it out there, because I don't think that's going to it's not going to serve us internally, and it's really not going to be anything that serves the consumer by just doing that, just arbitrary. It really has to be a thoughtful conversation.
Yeah.
So what I've seen is that Pandora's added the ability to play whatever music you want. You added that service. So now, because last time I checked, Pandora was way ahead of everybody, and I know that Spotify has been gaining. So is that what you guys see as the biggest competition, to stay in front of those kind of services?
Well, the word Spotify, I just want y'all to know, just made my skin. I'm just kidding.
I knew it would.
I was like, what did you say? I can't hear. So we do recognize that there's competition in the market. And it's not just Spotify. I mean, you got Apple Music. You have a lot of digital platforms that are streaming music. And really, a lot of that comes from making sure that we understand putting the brand out in the forefront as much as possible is what we need to do. So we just had a change in marketing, chief marketing officer. We have a new chief marketing officer that just started. We have a leadership team that's looking into marketing specifically. We have new commercials that are coming, or actually they're already playing on TV stations, and they're actually going to expand to different platforms. So we're really, really being specific and targeted behind the marketing, because we understand that that's something that we really, really need to focus on. Yes, the competition is out there, but I mean, that just makes it fun. If we're the only one out there, we just gotta keep it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would. This is just something that's popping in my mind now. I know for us, what really worked was we really started focusing on the next up and coming artists, and really building in things for the next generation. Because if you always focus on the guys that are hot now and all that, eventually and this is not a problem for you guys, but eventually they not only go away, but they feel entitled in a certain way. But if you focus on the up and coming artists, by the time it pays off 5 years later, it'll really, really make a difference. So that's why I always ask you about what your advice for artists that are trying to make a name for themselves. We know about Next Big Sound. We know about things like that. I want to make sure people are hearing those things, because a lot of people don't know all the tools available, AMP, things like that.
Right.
So Pandora has a ton of opportunities for,
and it's free.
Think about this. This is a cool thing. I was able to do this because we have Nectar, our platform. We have about 400 artists. And I am able to run commercials on their station. Like, I can record a commercial and play it, so whenever they hear their song, you hear the commercial saying, hey, go check out my music, blah, blah. Like that. I don't think people, do y'all know that?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's through the artist marketing platform. You can actually record your own personal voice before a song, and you can actually tell a story about that song or whatever you decide to do to get the users engaged so they can connect to what this song is about. That's also on the artist marketing platform, and it's free.
Wow.
You can create your song to be a feature. If you create your song to be a feature, you have to go through, a little extra, but you can actually make your song a feature, and that song would be played, more often, or it would be set up so where when the user comes into that playlist, it would actually be a featured track. All of this stuff is free, and it's free on our artist marketing platform. We also have Next Big Sound, and you can actually connect your Next Big Sound profile with your artist marketing profile. Your Next Big Sound is going to tell you a heat map. Where is your song streaming the most? So if you're an independent artist and you really want to get a hit around what cities you want to target, you would use our Next Big Sound platform, and it would actually show you a heat map of where your songs are streaming the most.
Wow, that's
crazy.
free.
That's free.
Wow.
You can also get you can also get the demographics of the people who are listening, because when you sign up for Pandora, we ask you certain questions, but you can also get the demographics. Are you a female from the age of 35 to 55, blah, 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 blah. So you can actually create your target audiences. You can actually create a tour based on the information that is within the Next Big Sound platform, and it's free.
Yeah. And
It's free.
Next Big Sound pulls in your Facebook information.
It pulls
Twitter
in your social media. Yes.
I actually found Next Big Sound before I even knew it was a part of Pandora. So it's an amazing tool, and I just don't know if independent artists know all these things are available to them.
No, and that's another thing that we are looking at talking about more and trying to get more in the mainstream is that we have all of these things that really are focused on the independent artists. There's a huge community of independent artists out there who could use these free tools. You don't have to come out of your pocket thousands and thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
You could really, really use this to, get your music out there and connect with your audience and understand who you're connecting to, and then turn that into whatever you need to turn that into from a marketing perspective.
Yeah, that's good.
Is there a conference planned where you guys are going to talk about all this, like lay it all out? You guys thought about that?
So we don't have technically a conference plan, but we are doing things in the Atlanta office.
Okay.
Specifically where we're trying to connect with the local market.
Okay.
The Atlanta office has only been here for a couple of years. We have our Sirius XM office in New York. We have our corporate office for Pandora in California. Oakland, we have satellite offices all over the place, LA, Dallas. But with me being here in the Atlanta office, there are a lot of things that we're trying to do to connect with the Atlanta community, because this is a huge music industry.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
is film, this is TV, but this is music back from L.A. Reid and Babyface and Outkast, and when the Atlanta scene really started to come to the forefront of the rest of the world. Like, I'm not sure if you guys saw my social media or J1 or Brian Calhoun, but we just had an event on Thursday night where we presented YFN Lucci with his billionaire plaque. He has 1.2 billion streams on the Pandora platform, and there's less, I think there's 500 or less artists that have actually achieved over a billion streams. So we're really trying to focus on connecting not just with the mainstream, but with the independent artists as well. We're holistically trying to connect with the music community, period, from all aspects.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's good.
It's so needed.
Yeah.
It's so needed
It's
because
definitely needed.
we're at this
and
point.
it's free.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that I want to make sure that everybody understands. And if you guys ever get a chance to talk about it again, or if I get to come back every week. Of course.
Yeah. Open seat.
But a lot of people get taken for money. They get scammed for money by people who are promising all of these things. We have a digital platform that spans the entire U.S. that is free.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay anybody to do that for you.
Yeah.
You can literally sit there, create features, create stories, upload your songs. Like, you could do all of that for no cost at all.
Yeah.
So that really needs to be something that everybody understands regularly.
So So you don't need to go through a distributor no more? You can go straight to Pandora?
Well, you have to have your song through a distributor like TuneCore or whatever to even load it. But I mean, once you get that set up, I mean, our platform is pretty much no cost.
And that's where we come in, right?
Yeah.
So,
Nectar.
So we could distribute it to Pandora for you, and all that stuff is available for you. I think we should be the ones that are responsible for the Christian music initiative of Pandora, at least the Christian hip hop initiative of Pandora.
Yeah.
It really brings some energy in there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I hope y'all hear. I'm on Facebook Live. This plug.
Yeah, I think
He was the one that was getting me the last time too. He thought I forgot.
Yes. I really think we would do a good job with that.
It's strategic. That's why we put you directly across from him.
Oh, that's what it is.
The eye contact.
That's
It's
what I'm for.
yeah.
We are open to have artists come in. We do Pandora playbacks where we have artists come in and they actually literally talk about their new music. I mean, we've had everybody in the office from Common to Jadena.
I saw that.
We had Little Kim stop by. We had T-Pain. Sway came through. Just walking. Jermaine Dupri. I mean, you name it. So there's an opportunity. There's absolutely
I really
an opportunity.
believe that our artists are the next wave of hip hop.
Yeah.
And I really think if we get in front of that, I think you'll see in a couple of years, these artists that are making this niche music is going to be the mainstream.
Yeah.
So that's why I keep pushing it, because I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, look at Lecrae.
Exactly.
Right? You
Yeah.
got 1K Few out here killing it.
Exactly.
You got, all these Christian artists that are coming up and doing, exactly what you're talking about, and it's really gaining momentum. So I agree with you 100%.
Getting placements.
Getting placements. Absolutely. I definitely think there's a huge market being created in that direction. Absolutely.
So what else do you have working on besides, you do other things besides Pandora? What else you got going on?
So I got to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
I like having 3 meals a day, so I like eating. But no, I'm actually working on a book right now.
Okay.
It's in the editing process at this point in time, but a few years ago, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I started mentoring young African American girls, because once I started my executive career, I started getting questions. How do you do that? What is the secret sauce? How can I get to that level? And I think the biggest struggle just for us in general is how do we maintain who we are in a corporate environment, but still play the game? It is absolutely something that you have to master, because you can't, the saying, don't hate the player, hate the game, I guess kind of fits, because you can hate the game, but you still have to learn how to play it. Yeah. And a lot of young ladies just didn't understand why I wasn't getting promoted, why I wasn't, moving up the ladder. So my book is specifically focused on being an African American woman executive in corporate America. Yeah. A lot of times when I get hired at these executive levels, I'm either the only person of color or I'm the only African American woman. Yeah. Period. The diversity is there, but it's small. Yeah. And there's still a need for the conversation around how do we open up that pipeline and bring other people into that pipeline. So the title of the book is called Only One. And the reason why I called it Only One, because usually when I get hired in these roles, I'm the only one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. So it's talking about, how you have these conversations, how you interact, but still maintain who you are, but you still have to learn that aspect of being in corporate America. So hopefully it'll get through editing within the next few weeks, and at the turn of the year, I'll be able to come back and show you my cover.
That's awesome.
Ooh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we would definitely support that. We have a lot of times we have authors that come on, and we can, push that through social media and put it on our website. So yeah, definitely want to help you with that.
Yeah, and you understand, because you work with young men and women all the time, and they need that, because nobody is teaching that, not even in college.
Absolutely.
Like, you go to college and you learn tactical. Absolutely. You don't learn the finesse of having a conversation, or the finesse of getting a mentor, or finesse of what it means to have a sponsor, or the finesse of having somebody to really guide you through that process. They're just out here trying to figure stuff out, and nobody's really going to offer that information. So through the mentoring process, I'm just big on mentoring. So I just felt like there was a need to truly put that out there and start to have the dialogue about what it means to have that additional support. And then when you get here, how do you then stick your arm back and pull people with you? Because there's, in my opinion, there's no benefit of being here if I can help somebody get to that next level as well. So
that's good. You're getting a ton of compliments on here. I wish you could see them.
What do they say?
So you can always go to YouTube.
A ton of compliments.
See, now if I give you my resume, everybody who's out there, I'm gonna apply for this job. And if I don't get it, y'all let them know.
You could come back anytime. You are welcome. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think people need to know what you know. You have a lot of insight into what artists. There's a ton of artists in here that would love to talk to you and hear from you. So if you ever want to start a podcast or anything yourself, we could do that.
That's coming.
Yes. For you.
Hey,
that's absolutely coming.
What's the website for the artist to go to? You said.
So it's AMP Playbook. .com, and then it's nextbigsound.com.
So here's the path, right? So you distribute your music through Nectar, right? So sign up to Nectar, get your music over to Pandora, and then when you go on Pandora, you'll see your song in a list. You'll see your artist name, and you pick your artist name. It'll show all the songs you have, and then they'll let you pick one of your songs. I think you could promote one at a time or whatever.
It's
but you
only
pick,
one at a time,
so it'll show you. It'll gray out the ones that you've already done or whatever. But you pick one, then it'll let you make a commercial for it, and then it'll prioritize that song and stream. So it's all about discovery, right? Like, if you're a new artist, and how are people going to find you?
Right.
But if they listen to
Pandora.
Give me another artist.
Lamar James.
No, a known artist. Like
Lizzo.
All right. So they're listening to Lizzo. then Lamar James can pop up in that, and people listening to her may hear him with the commercial. You know what I'm saying? So it's an amazing opportunity. It's like It's free. It's free.
It's free. I mean, we break it down by weeks. We break it down by percentage of change. We break it down like if you're streaming, 10,000 this week, and then you go up or down, we can tell you that percentage delta.
Wow.
We can tell you how many streams you get a week. We can tell you the total streams that you've had. I mean, we give you enough information to literally create your own brand and market and manage your music. Free.
And now they're not just hearing your music; they're hearing you. Like you get to put a personal message on it.
It's almost like commentary. Like certain people do commentary for albums.
Like
they tell you what the song's about and stuff.
So it's just a quick like, hey, if you like that, check me out. Blah blah. Like
you can actually sell merchandise. You can actually upload a link to sell tickets. Like
that's amazing.
Like you have all at your fingertips.
It's crazy.
It's literally sick.
Thank you for coming again.
Thank you for having me.
Come back anytime.
Okay.
You're in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
Hey guys, Miracle here. Thank you so much for watching that episode. Make sure you go below, like it, subscribe, click the bell, and make sure you follow us on all forms of our social media. Also, check out our website and be sure you spread the word. We'll see you next time.
We know not what we doing. Screw that, they know, let them have it, do it. Okay, I'm erratic, prove it. Never mind, got a mind that'll wind up with me in the lineup behind bars with these bars. Okay, my time.
Team Freedom.
Yeah.
We not through yet.
All right.
Trackstarz Music presents.
Turn my volume up. Turn me off.